to my cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds of sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, my friends. I am really glad you're here, and I am glad that I'm here. And I'm going to see if I remember how to do this because it's been a couple of weeks. But here we are, March 31st, the last day of the month, 2025. Live stream number 190. April starts tomorrow, so we've made it through March. I was just outside, and the buds are on the trees, and little leaves are going to start popping out soon, and it's an exciting time. So thanks for being here. You know, I've been sick for a couple weeks, as you know, which is why I didn't have the live stream. You can probably still hear it in my whatever you call that, in my head, I guess. But gosh, what a rough couple of weeks it has been. I have not been sick like that for, well, it's been like 10 years. Anytime I've gotten seriously sick, like with a really, really bad cold, I put it on the calendar, on the Google Calendar. So I looked it up, and it was like 2016 was the last time I had a really bad cold that lasted like 12 days. Today, we're on like day 15, I think, of this one. So this may be the worst I've ever had. Tonight, we're just going to kind of free roll, talk about the channel, read some comments, and I'm going to talk as much as I can without going into a coughing spell, but I do have a full glass of iced tea here. I know water would be better, but I really don't like water. I mean, I like it, but it's not my it's not my beverage of choice unless it's a really hot summer day. Then nice water, cold water is good. But otherwise, I like a little flavor. Anyway, so thanks for being here. Thanks for your patience as I have not put out videos for a couple weeks, not done the live streams. Thanks for the messages. I've tried to stay active on Facebook and Instagram, where there's basically just no video, just still images and things like that. So it's been nice to stay connected. Again, thanks for the messages. Shout out to my friend Hunter in North Carolina. Hunter's teacher wrote me an email and said Hunter was concerned that I was sick. And I saw a message from you, Hunter, in the comment section today of the Bomalite video. So Hunter, if you're watching, it is great to see you, great to have you here, and thank you for reaching out. And I hope you're doing well. I know the school year is going to be wrapping up. I don't know when it wraps up for you down there. Pretty early, right? Or do you guys go later? No. Down south, they get out earlier than we do. Anyway, good to be here with everybody. If you're new to the live stream, if you've not been here before, because we do have a lot of subscribers coming on daily to the channel. So you may have subscribed to the channel in the last couple weeks and then got this notification about a live stream and said, what's Ed doing live? So what we do is we talk about the channel, talk about, you know, tractors and gardening and DIY projects, life in the country. That's what we do. But if you're new to the live stream, new to the channel, please say hi in the live chat, because this is an interactive live stream, and we'd love to welcome you to the family of live streamers and the clutterites, as some people call it, for the channel here. So welcome, but please do say hi so that we can appropriately welcome you, and let me know how you found the channel, because you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, pretty much everywhere. I mean, there's some other platforms out there now, but I'm not on those. So these are where you can find me at this point. And we do this generally every Monday evening, just for 1 hour, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's it. And sometimes we'll have an interesting guest. I have a couple people that I've been talking to get them on here, so I'm looking forward to that. But I wanted to make sure that I was, you know, in a good position to talk and speak with people. So you just have me for tonight. If you do have a question for me, again, this is for the new folks out there. If you have a question, type it in the live chat the way you see it down here with the word question or the big letter Q followed by your question, and that helps it stand out. So if you have a question, type it that way, and then later on, before the evening is finished, we'll do the sticker giveaway. And I have to fess up, a few of you have won stickers over the past several weeks, several live streams, and I was kind of behind on that too. So a few envelopes went out today, and they are in the mail. If you haven't gotten stickers, let me know, because I've been kind of out of sorts a bit, and I may have missed some. So we're going to do we'll do the sticker giveaway. I wanted to mention too that it's funny. I don't have it with me anymore. Anyway, Brutal Bob, our friend Brutal Bob, won stickers around Thanksgiving, and I sent him the stickers just this week, or just, I guess, was the end of last week. I get the envelope back in the mail, shredded in half, and the stickers are still in there. There was a note I put in there that was ripped in half, and I just got it back, that it said undeliverable. So that was kind of crazy that happened. And I just happened to have a return address on that one, which normally I don't do that. So, but it came back to me. So I sent an email to Bob and said, sorry, but got to resend these. All the way from November, Thanksgiving. Finally made their way back. But anyway, we'll be doing that. And if you would click that thumbs up button, I appreciate that, whether you're watching from YouTube or Facebook. It's always a good thing. I've been playing with these gestures, and I found out that the 2 thumbs up gives me the fireworks, and there's other gestures that you can do now. And I think like the single, I think that's balloons. If I do that, yeah, there's the balloons. I'm learning these things now, and if I do it a double, then that gives me confetti. So fun, right? Right. Oh, this is what I learned today too. If I do 2 thumbs down, I get a rain cloud over my head. That's very appropriate. Thank goodness for the mute button. I better look at some comments. I want to know if you can hear me okay, because I'm wearing this wireless microphone. I'm live streaming with the Osmo Pocket 3 as my webcam. Just thought I'd give it a try, because I like to try different things. So I'm not using the MacBook camera. I'm using the Osmo Pocket. And I also attached the mic to it. So thank you. I think you hear me just fine. All right, let me look back at some comments. I really do appreciate you being here. I am so touched, honestly, that you come back week after week, that we get together like this. It's a nice group of people, 50, 60 people, sometimes more. And it just means a lot to me, because sometimes I feel like I'm not really offering a whole lot here, other than just an opportunity to get together and chat. Other than when I do have an interesting guest, and I like that, so I'll work on that. But you folks are just the best, so supportive, and watching the channel, it just means the world to us, because you support us just by watching and interacting. And I want to make this work, and it's working, and it's thanks to you. So thanks to you. So I see that a lot of bad weather going around. Phil from Peterson Farms in Nashville, and Ross is getting hit up in Canada. And what'd you say, Ross? There's like 400,000 people without power near you. That is not good. I see Kevin and David and Joe. Good to see you. Chris from the Watershed Overlook. 80 degrees. Yeah, boy, it was nice today here. It was nice to get outside, and just the sunshine, I think, helps cure things. Yeah, Wade, I am definitely feeling better. I'm not going to dwell on this, all right? But here's what happened. this is so weird because it was like 2.5 weeks ago. I had this sore throat that started right here, and it was up in from my ear to here, and it was really a bad sore throat. It almost felt like a hollow spot in my face. And I said, something's going down. I know something's coming. 2 days later, the sore throat went away, and it was all in my head and in my chest, and it was just just awful. And now here we are 2.5 weeks later. It's clearing out, but yet I still feel this pressure here, which is crazy that it's coming full circle right back where it started from. I even went to the doctor after the first week and a half or so, and they said not strep, could be flu. They said we could test for the flu, but if it is the flu, you can't do anything about it. And I said, well, then why would we test for the flu? And they said, well, because at least you'd know. Well, doesn't matter, I guess. Like if it's not, if you don't think it's something else, it doesn't matter if it's the flu or not. So they did give me a prescription of prednisone steroids, and I feel like they did nothing. So maybe they did. Maybe it would have been terrible without them, but I feel like nothing worked. And then I did a little bit of, online medical research on my own, because that's always a good thing to do. And I read that one of the websites said that steroids are not recommended for the flu because it prevents your body from fighting off the virus or whatever it is. So I might have been better off not taking anything, but my gosh, the worst thing is the coughing has just been relentless, especially at night. It is like sleep deprivation torture when you are just trying to get to sleep, and even if you try to sleep sitting up and you just are coughing, and you might fall asleep for 15 minutes and then you start coughing again, and it's just so frustrating. And I was taking NyQuil and anything else I could find that might, Robitussin, those kind of things. I'm telling you, nothing was doing anything. Nothing. Or if it was, I can't imagine how much worse it would have been. But enough about me. Enough about me. Let's look at some comments. Talking about the videos, you saw that I put out the Bomalite video today for the mini skid steer. It's a tracked mini skid steer. I've got the bucket for it, and I've got the pallet forks. And in a couple weeks, I'm going to get a mini mulching head to go with that, which is the primary reason that I'm using that on the property here, to demonstrate that mini mulching head. So I'm very excited about that. But thank you for watching that video. I appreciate it, and I mean it, that I want to hear from you. If you would comment on that video, if there's certain things you want to know about it, let me know. And I will make some content about that. So yes, Phil, I am geared up for the Bluegrass Festival. Labor Day weekend. In fact, I am a member of the Executive Board of Directors, and we'll be having a meeting shortly to talk about the festival. But that's a year-long thing. We've been planning it from the week after the festival ended. You jump right on and start the next one. So anyway, I help out at the festival. I don't know how much value I bring, but I do love working the grounds and setting up for the festival and being part of it. So it's a good time, and I'll put it out there again. If you want to take a trip to the East Coast, to the Delaware Valley, I could meet you at the Delaware Valley Bluegrass Festival. You can stay in a hotel about 5 miles away. You can bring a tent or an RV or a camper. If you get the weekend pass, you get to stay at the fairgrounds, included with that price, with your tent, camper, RV. You can sleep overnight. No shower facilities, very little electric hookups, no water, no sewer. So you're dry camping, you're boondocking basically. But still, it's a good time. It's a good time. John, thank you for that super chat. You are too kind, as I always say. Thank you, sincerely. Let me look at some comments here. All right. Chris, what are you talking about, man? Oh, are you talking about when I was climbing up on top of the crate? You know what? It wasn't as bad as it looked. And I set the camera back because I thought this is going to look like I'm up really high. And maybe I was up pretty high, but still, I think that's what you're talking about. I don't know if Ann saw the video yet or not. She has actually run the mini skid. I had it down in the forest yesterday just to kind of tool around, and she was excited and wanted to hop right on it and try it out. So she likes it already. All right. Mark, Ministo Key, beautiful blue skies there. That is good to hear. Love our beautiful blue skies. All right. Okay, maybe I was about 10 feet tall, or 10 feet off the ground. That's true because of the trailer plus that. Anyway, I have to still climb on top of things while I can, because as you get older, that's not going to be possible. You know, wasn't as easy hopping up on top of that crate, but I still feel like a kid, you know, when you want to climb on things and do things like that. So, Mark has a question about the Baumolite, and I'm going to be testing this out a lot more. I mean, yesterday was just the uncrating it and testing it a little bit, but it did, in the video, I was able to lift a full tote of firewood. Now, that was a tote of cherry that I had cut and split a couple months ago. It was, I think the tractor could pick it up, but it was tough. Now, the wood was wet. Now, I don't know how much it's dried out, so it could pick that up, but I'm going to do an unscientific comparison. I've got a couple pallets of slate or stone. I've got a pallet of red brick that I stacked up, and I stacked it to the point where the B2601 could just barely move it. So what I plan to do is take those pallets and, you know, combine some of the material and get it to the point where the tractor will not lift it up. You know, try and figure out exactly what that is. If I could use the red bricks, I could do it a little more scientific and weigh one brick and then multiply and figure out how many pounds that is, essentially. Maybe I'll do that if I have enough red bricks out there. But I want to get it to the point where the tractor can't pick it up. You know, just to that point where, you know, you add that final brick and it can't pick it up. And then I'll bring the Baumolite over and see if it can pick it up. And that should be my unscientific review. Now, there are no counterweights on the Baumolite right now. So I have to be careful with that, because when you do pick up the tote, you know, you're very front heavy. If you don't pick it up far, you're only going to fall forward a little bit. So I wouldn't be lifting that up real high. But I do think, just the little bit that I've worked with it, I do think it has a higher lift capacity than the B2601, which is only about, the B2601 is only about 1,000 pound lift capacity. Might be able to do 1,100 or so. This is probably 1,200. You know, it's not much more, but it's a small machine, so it's pretty impressive that it can do that. So I'm going to do that. I did push some more dirt. In the video, I was pushing a little bit of dirt from the foundation where we're building the addition on the back of the house. And I just want to take that dirt and kind of push it off the hill to kind of extend that flat area. And it worked pretty well for that. You know, it's only got like a 3-foot wide bucket, but it worked really well. And if you just take it piece by piece, you can just work your way. And yeah, that's what I was just saying. There's no ballast, but you can. I think you can get weights for the sides to help give it some ballast, which I do not have. I do not. All right, love the sticker. Great. Does that mean you got the sticker, or that you want to win the sticker? Because you'll be able to in a little while. And Dan says, thanks for the grapple videos. Don, sorry. I'm glad you like them. I do love the grapple. That's another thing that I don't have for the Baumolite. It does not. This one does not have the third function valve set up on it. Now, it's something you can do, but this one doesn't have it. So I don't have a grapple for the Baumolite or the third function. But I have the grapple on the tractor, which, again, I love that attachment. I will be getting the mini mulching head soon, in a couple weeks, and that works from, I guess they're like just remote hydraulics on the front, and that will spin the mini mulching head, and we'll see how that compares to the MP348, which is PTO driven on the back of the tractor, which spins at an incredible speed. It's also 48 inches wide and weighs 1,000 pounds. The mini mulching head, I'm sure, is going to be smaller than that and lighter, and I don't know if it'll spin, what rate it'll spin at and what power it will have, but that's the main reason that I wanted to get that machine here on the property, because I mentioned in the video that we are managing invasive species here in the forest. We're working with the government, but the USDA, what's the program called? NRCS or something like, yeah, NRCS. We're not in the program yet. We applied for it, but what that is you work with your local farm agency, and you apply for this program. They come out, they look at your forest, and you plot out areas where you're going to manage this invasive species. We have this Japanese barberry. I think that's the big one that we have here, that we want to try and eradicate that. Open up some areas in the woods to get some sunshine in and some new growth. Maybe clear out some trees that are dead or dying to allow for new growth. So that is forestry management, and that's what we're working on here with the property. It's all part of having the farm. You know, you do get a special tax assessment on your farmland if you are actively farming it, which is what we're doing with the forestry, firewood, and those type of things. So you know, it's all part of the program, and it's good because it keeps people in a position where they can afford to have land and maintain it, enjoy it, hopefully make some of a living from it. That's what farming is. Now, I don't ever consider us farmers, because I think of farmers usually as crop farmers, or, you know, large animal, livestock farmers, those kind of things. We're still, you know, hobby farmers, but a lot different than what a big crop farmer would be. But we're all have the same end goal, and that is to appreciate the land and take care of it. So Harriet's Chariot has a question, and have you done any more work with the small stump grinder? I have not, but I'm getting ready to, because it's still on the back of the tractor, and I have a few stumps around that I want to take care of before I take it off. So yes, very soon I'm going to be doing that, a little more stump grinding with that, but it has worked out pretty well. That also, if you're not aware, is a Baumolite product. It's the, what is it, 1P14 stump grinder. It's a small flywheel stump grinder, and is designed for compact and subcompact tractors. Now, I do have the Woodland Mills 24-inch stump grinder, which works very well, and I have bogged down my tractor with that, because my tractor's 20 horsepower at the PTO, which is the minimum recommended for that Woodland Mills. The Baumolite smaller model that I have is made for as low as 15 horsepower at the PTO. So it's probably more right-sized for my tractor, and definitely would be for a BX type subcompact tractor. So I will be using that some more. What I was going to say is that's a brand new product from Baumolite, and I know that when I put the video out, some people had commented saying, I'm interested in this stump grinder, but I can't find it on their website. So I did reach out to Baumolite, and I said, hey, you got to at least put this on your website, coming soon. I think it's available now as pre-order. So if you go to baumolite.com and look up stump grinders, look for the 1P14. That's the mini stump grinder for a compact, subcompact tractor. And reach out to them and let them know, you know, if it's not available yet, let them know you're interested in it. Let them know you saw it on the channel here, because that's good feedback that helps me as well. I don't get any kind of commission or anything like that, but but it keeps my relationship with them in good standing because they did provide that to me to use on the channel. So that's the benefit that I get, is that I get to use it and I get to demonstrate it, but there's no financial gain from me. So if you say, hey, I saw it on Ed's channel and I want one, that's helpful. Enough about that. Okay. All right, Craig. Yeah, I know, Craig, you know all about this stuff. The NRCS is the agency. Invasive Species Control falls under their EQIP improvement program. I don't remember that acronym, but NRCS, definitely. So we should hear about that soon. I know that usually is decided in March. The applications are received and reviewed. I believe the Farm Bill passed, which usually passes every year. I know it was a little sketchy this year, unsure what was going to happen. But I think the bill passed and the funding is there for this program. I don't know. We'll see. Yes, thank you. Tree farming is absolutely farming. I get that. And I appreciate that. So, looking for other comments here. Dave, good to see you. Yeah, we've been talking about the mini skid steer, Dave. So, liking it very much. Only had one day with it, so at this point, I need some more experience with it. Sorry, I was just reading a message. I try not to get distracted by my phone, but sometimes I think if there's a problem with the live stream, people tend to reach out. Friends and family who are watching, they'll let me know. So anyway, that was our friend. That was our friend Joe the farmer who texted me. He enjoyed a comment that I made on the Bombalite video about Kermit the lamb. Did you guys catch that comment? I didn't want to have to explain it to anybody, but I will if I have to. Know what I'm talking about? Now, let's see if anybody knows what I'm talking about. All right. Well, why? You want to win the stickers? Okay. You'll have a chance. You'll have a chance in a little while. Very shortly. Okay. Dave, here's a good question. Solar panel project. I shared some of that online. I don't know if I shared any video of that yet, but I'm hoping that I can. I didn't really put a video together because it's been such a long process, and it's not done yet. So here's the thing. Excuse me. I'm just taking my time. Stay calm and don't start coughing, because once you start, you never know when it's going to stop. It could be minutes and minutes and minutes. Anyway, so the solar panels, everything is done. Here's the thing. Everything's hooked up. It was basically a one-day job. One day they came out and set the rack for the panels, and then the next day they did everything else. So it was done essentially in a day, but you're not allowed to turn it on until you have all the final approvals. So the township had to come out, electrical inspector had to come out, check all the work. That was kind of a no-brainer because they do such great work. But he came out, he did his part, he submitted his approval, and then the solar installation company, they have to send that to the electric company. The electric company has 21 business days to review and essentially approve the project. I don't know what happens if they don't do it in 21 days, but that's their limit. And I've been told that they take every bit of that 21 days. So we're at a point where I think next Friday is the deadline, and we should be able to, or the solar company should be able to switch on those panels, even though they're fully functional. They're not tied in yet. Flick of a switch, they'll be tied into the grid. We'll be back feeding the grid with solar energy, and that should net zero our electric usage and our electric bill. So we're very excited about that. These systems have come a pretty long way. Where now each solar panel has a micro inverter on it, converting the power. Each solar panel has you'll get feedback from each one. With the micro inverter on every solar panel, I'm going to get an app on my phone, which I'm kind of a nerd about that kind of stuff anyway. And on this app, I'm going to be able to see every one of the 35 or 36 panels and what each individual panel is outputting. So if a panel has a problem, we'll know it. If it's not putting out the proper amount of power, we'll know it from the app. So I'm excited to see all that and to track that. So, but yes, Linda's perfect timing for summer. The sun's going to be bright, long days, so I'm excited about that. Yes. Ed, hot dog cam was a really long time ago. That was at the old house even before we moved here. And you're right. I owe you hot dog cam. I'll have to do it again. We'll think about how to do that, but I'm glad you remember hot dog cam. Remember when we had Tim from Tractor Time with Tim as a guest on the show? We did cheeseburger cam in honor of Tim. So, yes, I have to get back to more fun stuff like that. So, okay. Here's another thing. When I got sick 2 weeks ago, I had a big job to do the following weekend. I got sick on a Thursday, Friday, started with a sore throat. And then by that Monday, I could not get out of bed. That's how bad this thing was. I was fevered, chilled, so fatigued, just terribly fatigued. So I spent Monday and Tuesday barely getting out of bed. And then that weekend, I had a big job to do, a video production job that I do every year. And I thought, oh, well, I'm glad it started this week because by next week, I should be better. Well, this was a 3-day job, 3 10-hour days, and on your feet the entire time. And I was starting to feel better that Friday, and I did the job, but I think it set me back. I came home Sunday night from that job with 102 fever because I think I had really pushed my limits. So maybe that set me back. But gosh, I've had to work when I was sick many times in the past, but it is no fun to do that. And I didn't think I was sick. I thought I was getting better. So, oh yeah, Linda, remember the mouse cam too? I had the camera set up in the basement, and I was trying to catch this mouse. So I had a trap set up, and I had the mouse set up on the camera set up on the mouse trap, and it was during one of the live videos where I had actually I got a notification, and I actually had seen the mouse circling the trap, and I was afraid. I didn't want to really show him getting struck on live stream. So, but it was funny. But yeah, I actually still have that camera set up, and the trap is still there. It doesn't have any bait in it right now, but there's the trap. I still have mouse cam set up, and it has not been active, but I need to bait it because I think the mice come in I think they come in all times. You know, they come in the fall because they're looking for a place to nest over winter, but then I think they come in the spring too. I don't know. It's a constant challenge. But that was fun, right? All right, you guys are talking about service intervals, things like that. And Dave, wasn't the C virus, you mean COVID? I tested twice for COVID throughout this, negative both times. The first time I didn't think it even was, but I thought, let me just test because it's good to know. Came out negative. But that second week, when this was not going away, and it was right before I went to the doctor, I thought, let me test this again because this is really bad. And I tested, and clear as day, it was that blue line that said negative. So, never had it. I have never tested positive for COVID yet. I don't know if I've ever had it. I felt like early on maybe I had, but at any rate, I've had sniffles a few times and I tested a few times, but I've never tested positive for it. Anne unfortunately did and has had to deal with some issues from that. But anyway, yeah, that was a big negatory on that one. Yep. So Joe has a question about solar. Is it true that they buy back power at wholesale rate, so it takes a long time to reduce your bill because you're purchasing it at retail? I have been told, I don't know the details of that specifically, but I've been told that the buyback is a very small number. The other thing is that when you design a system, or when a company designs a system for you, it has to be submitted for approval from the electric company, and you're not allowed to produce more than you use. So for us, it was based on a year's worth of electric bills. And then from that, they know what your usage is. So they design a system that's going to produce, I think for us, it's like almost 15 kW. So the system is designed to produce pretty much that. I think you're allowed to go like 106% of your usage. If you overproduce, like let's say we just don't use an electric for a month, you know, if we go away and the house is kind of shut down, then you'll have this bank of electric, and then I think at the end of the year, if you still have this electric in the bank, they'll buy it. But I've heard it's not. Now, because we're outright buying the system, we do get the tax credits, or the SRECs, the solar SREC, the solar renewable energy credits. I think that's what it is. So we will get those. So basically, we'll produce enough electricity so that we'll have a net zero electric bill. And then the SREC credits that were paid for producing X amount of electric will come in payment form, which the numbers have dropped. I think SRECs used to be like, I heard they were like $300 for an SREC, and now they're like 80. But that's what kind of pays for the system. You take away what your electric bill would have been, plus your SRECs, and then you figure out how long basically it takes to pay for itself. And in this case, I think it's 6 years or so that it will net out zero. So as long as we stay here for 6 years, I'm saying 6, I forget the number, but as long as we stay here for 6 years, as long as I live for 6 more years, that's when we'll really realize the benefit of this. So it might feel like free electricity at first, but it's not, because we're paying for it through buying this system. But the idea for us was, we love it here, and we want to do everything we can to stay on this property, hopefully for the rest of our lives, and hopefully for a long life. So, you know, I'm 57 years old, and thinking, all right, but pay the system off by the time, you know, I'm technically retirement age. You know, you can expect your income's going to drop unless something amazing happens, which could be, but you have to anticipate that your income is going to drop course, my income dropped prematurely when I lost my job a couple of years ago, so we're getting used to that. But the point is, we want to live as frugally, as simply as possible, comfortable as well, but by not having the electric bill, I'm looking, let's just say 10 years out, when I'm of that retirement age. If I can live here, if we can live here, and say, all right, we don't have an electric bill, we've got the farm assessed, and we're still able to get work done and reduce our taxes and all those kind of things to try and bring them down. That New Jersey has a tax rebate program, an anchor program, and people love to hate on New Jersey. But let me tell you what, there is some good things, a lot of good things about New Jersey. There's an anchor program which is designed to offset property taxes, because we have, I think, the highest property taxes in the nation, basically, on average. But there are ways to kind of bring that down. So they have this program that is there to offset your taxes and try to get them down to a manageable amount. Where was I going with that? I thought we want to stay here. That's the idea. Planning ahead. Best we can do. What did John Lennon say? That life happens while you're busy making plans? I think that is true. That is true. So, I see moderator Chris is posting links, helpful links. That's good. Oh, yeah, Evan's project. Yeah, I don't know that I could have done the solar project myself. You watch them do it and you think, well, that's pretty easy. But I think there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that they have to do, that administrative stuff that I don't know that I would have been familiar with. And not to say that the actual installation project, they made it look easy. It's not difficult, but it's a lot of work, if that makes sense. So, all right. Dave, how's the Ranger running? How's the Ranger running? The Ranger is running good. I love that little truck. It's our little dump runner. We go to the trash station, the convenience center, because we don't have trash pickup. So we have to bring our trash to a facility. And that's one of the reasons I bought the truck, just because it's low to the ground. It's easy to throw trash cans on. It's handy for, I don't have to worry about dinging it up like I do with the F-150. It's a fun little truck. It's got some issues. It's got a check engine light now that I can't figure out, that says it's running lean. And I've tried to find any vacuum leaks. Haven't found any of those. Air conditioning does not work, although my nephew put some refrigerant in it and it came on, so there must be a leak in there somewhere. There is a, excuse me. There is a anti-lock brake light on the dash, which just means the anti-lock brakes don't work properly. Not really a big deal, because I drove cars for years without anti-lock brakes. So it's got that. But otherwise, man, it runs great. And it's fun to have that little 5-speed. It's just enough power to go down the road with a little 4-cylinder. It's a fun little truck. And thanks for asking, because it's running pretty well. And we like it. Dump runner. Yeah. We go to the dump together. Ann likes to go to the dump. It's funny. But we're co-dump runners on that. Well, that's because we have another word for the dump where we are here. Well, first of all, it's not really the dump. It's called the convenience center, but we always call it the dump. We also call it the mall because there's always stuff off to the side, furniture, things like that. We actually brought a chair home yesterday, and you find good stuff at the mall. And actually, I have a set of kitchen chairs, old wooden kitchen chairs that are in great shape. 4 of them. Picked them up at the dump at the mall. And I always say the great thing about it is unlimited returns. Bring it home, you don't like it, breaks, bring it back. No questions asked. So, anyway, it's fun to find treasures at the mall. All right, so, yes, Evan did install his own. Evan is like a genius, I don't have that going for me. Who's your handyman? This is a very timely question. When are you going to plant your wildflowers? I don't want to do it too soon. I've done it too early in the past, and we had a cold snap. So I think this month of April, I'm going to do some tilling and get them in the ground. I did it in March one year because we had this fake spring that came on in early March, and I got ambitious and I tilled and I planted and things started to come up, and then it froze. So I've learned to wait a little bit longer. I think April, which is tomorrow, but I think April I'll do. We're hoping to do along the driveway again, but this time we're going to shift it over about 5 feet. We didn't like how close to the driveway it was, even though it was pretty. We want to create a little, like a 5-foot section of grass, and then the wildflowers. So we'll be doing that pretty soon. Yeah, American Meadows is a great company. We may be working with them again this year, where they provided seeds that I could demonstrate, and folks seem to like that. So yeah, American Meadows is a great company if you need to order wildflower seeds, or lots of other seeds too. Lori and Joe, co-dump runners also. It's fun to go to the dump. Some dumps don't have an area where you can take stuff. They have like a big dumpster set up, and you pull up on this concrete pad and you throw your trash in the dumpster or compactor, and then you pull out. Where ours is, a little more old school, where you don't dump it in a hole anymore. Like when I was a kid, my grandfather would back the truck up to a hole in the ground and just throw the trash. So now we put them in dumpsters, and then the dumpsters take the dumpsters to the actual landfill, which is lined and monitored and all that good stuff. But there's still a furniture section off to the side, and we can take from there. So, hey, good question, Chris. My little button there, right? I had made these for the National Farm Machinery Show. We could do that. We can include a button tonight. You want to do that? Want to do a couple stickers and an MCG button? Because I have a few extras left. I might even have a "Don't Be a Tony" button. I gave them all to him, but I think I kept one for myself too. Right. One more question, then we'll go to a sticker giveaway. Dave's asking about putting a 1,000-gallon septic tank in. That was at the property that we sold, the house that we lived in forever, but we sold it a couple years ago. So yes, if you look on my videos, you'll see the complete septic install, and that was a fun project to kind of document that. But yeah, that was a brand new septic system at that house, not this house. So. Yep. Oh, Lori's saying experts say to wait until Mother's Day to plant. But who are the experts? Well, probably people who have learned not to plant too soon because their plants freeze and then they waste it like I did. So might be a wise thing to do. And those Cosmos and zinnias, they literally grow like weeds. So even if you plant them a little bit later, they come up great. The main thing they need is water. And we barely watered them last year. But if you can get them in the ground at the right time, where you're going to get rain for a couple days afterwards, they will just pop. They're amazing. They really are. Yes, indeed. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do a sticker giveaway. So if you're new to the channel, I'm going to put a word or a phrase on the screen, and in the live chat, you're going to type this word or phrase, and then the computer system will pick a winner at random. So you're going to win the original sticker, this fun sticker that I had made a while ago, and then also this button that Chris suggested. Good idea. But you'll get one of these too. I have a couple of those left. So that's what this is for. Let's do, in the live chat, type type the word or the phrase just like you see it here, no spaces, use the hashtag the flu. How appropriate. I don't know if I had the flu. I think I did. I probably did. Probably still do. Well, I don't think I'm contagious anymore, so I probably don't, but I probably did. Anyway, that's how that works. Hashtag the flu. You can do it like Chef Head Ed did. We see that Chris did it with all caps. That's okay. It can be uppercase. It can be lowercase. It can be a combination of the two, but it can't have any spaces. It won't like it if it has spaces. So, Jerry, hashtag the flu. Margaret, the flu. So, that's what I need you to type in the live chat. I'll let that play for a moment while I rest my voice. Yep, and I'll just check some messages. Okay, nothing going on I need to worry about. All right, so again, one of these stickers, and a button that I made myself, handmade with a button maker at the local library, because they have a button making machine. You know what happened with the that envelope that I said got shredded in the mail? I think I tried to send Bob one of my pens that I had made too, and I think it got jammed up. Probably what happened. All right, let's do this. The winner is... Who's Your Handyman? Congratulations. Oh, the music started over again. I hate when I forget to do that. Just fade it out. Anyway, congratulations. I need an email sent to me. Who's Your Handyman? You might have won before. I forget exactly. But send me an email at contactmcgtv@gmail.com. Let me know that you won tonight's sticker and button giveaway, and I'll get it in the mail to you. Hopefully this will ship without getting all torn up in the envelope. It shouldn't be as bad as the pen that I tried to send. So send me your name and postal address, and I'll get it in the mail to you. Right? Congratulations. Okay then. All right. Lose that. That's good. We're doing well. Doing all right for having been a couple of weeks, right? Joe, come on, man. You could have won. You forgot the hashtag. Joe, you need hashtag the flu. Gotta have the hashtag. So, all right. I'm going to look through some comments here to see if we have any parting words. I do, again, thank you for being here. For watching the channel, for your support, everything. Really do appreciate it. Ed has a question about buying MCG t-shirts anytime soon. It's the Teespring store is still active on the YouTube channel page. So t-shirts are still available. The mugs are still on there. I was trying to work with a different company. I haven't set it up yet to offer different products, and it's just been kind of my bad on that. But I know that Teespring didn't have the orange t-shirts available anymore, so which is one of the reasons I wanted to switch to the other company. I just haven't done it yet. You know, I think I need an assistant is what I think I need, or I need to get myself in gear, possibly. But anyway, if you go to shopmcg.com, that's a website that takes you to the Teespring store, shopmcg.com, and that'll take you there. But thank you for that support. I do appreciate that as well. So, well, look, it's Monday, March 31st. Tomorrow is the 1st of April, and spring is coming on stronger and stronger every day. So we'll leave it at that, and I'm gonna leave here and make up for all the coughing that I didn't do over the last hour. So now I can cough for an hour after this. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Have a great week, and as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.